We're doing a Shakedown Sunday. You can see here the solar is putting out over 2,000 watts, and going into the house bank are 72 amps, which is a massive load. That's almost double what our prior hardwired battery charger plugged into shore power used to put out. So again, we're doing a little Shakedown Sunday. I'm gonna head out to Egmont, decide where the wind takes us. We've largely gotten the boat kind of back in order. Got the cushions all back in. And again, underneath that bench here, that's the lifeblood of the system. So we went out to Egmont. We made water for about an hour and a half. We made 40 gallons per hour and filled up the starboard tank. And then it back flushes a little, so it uses a little bit when it's finished. But anyway, both tanks are full, and we're still at 99% battery, all off of solar. And now we are sailing back to Terracea for the night. We were going to stay out here, but about 10 to 15 knots of wind out of the east, and which is basically towards the Sunshine Skyway, which is there. And 15 knots from that distance creates a lot of fetch, meaning a long distance for that 15 knots to build up waves and make for a pretty uncomfortable anchorage. So instead, we're heading into Terracea. These are the bad boys that make it all happen. When we're running downwind like this, I often rig, I call it a barber hauler, but essentially it's a method to move this attachment point to the jib out closer to the side of the boat and open up this gap a bit. So instead of it being attached here where the jib sheet would normally attach, I rigged another line up, open that gap up so you have a much fuller, basically like a kite that is pushing us downwind. We're in 6 knots of wind and making 4.2 knots, which is pretty good. Like I said, not breaking any records, but still pretty impressive.
Okay, so we did top 3 for things that we liked about living in the condo. This isn't 3, this is 1, but this is the top 1 for me. Thank you, darling. Cheers.